Welcome everybody to WeWork. How's everyone doing tonight? Very good. Want to learn a little bit more about networking? So who here has never been to a networking event? Ever? Lisa, you've never been to a networking event? You never been to a networking event? Good.
Like networking event, just any event? Or
like business networking. Never been to any business networking? Okay. Well, what I'm going to be doing tonight is, Evan. I'll be going through, so I'll introduce myself. I think I know quite a few people here. So if you don't know me, I'll give a quick introduction. Why build an awesome network? What have I learned? I've been networking for about 7 years. And believe me, I've learned a lot. I've done a lot of stupid things in my career. But I guess I'm a little bit better now at it. And then we'll go over the 10 great networking strategies. So I have 10 tips that you can take home with you. I want to let everyone know I will be sending this presentation to everybody in PDF format at the end, so you do not have to take notes. So, who am I? That's me in my suit. It's about 5 years old. You notice I have a little more gray in my hair. So, I've been networking since about 2007. I'm a Northeastern grad. I own my own business called AIMC Business Solutions. What we do is IT consulting, social media, and website development. But when I started my business, I was always thinking to myself, how do I develop clients? And I started going to networking events at Northeastern University, which I'm a grad, back in 2007. And I discovered this whole new way for lead generation, just simply meeting people and going to networking events. So it really, I developed, today I have around 4,000 LinkedIn connections, about 1,000 Facebook connections, and I belong to numerous groups, so it's really built up a great network over time. So why build an awesome, I love the word awesome if no one knows me very well. Build an awesome professional network. People always do business with who they know. Now let me give you an example. If you meet, let's say, a financial advisor tonight, and you have $2 million to invest, would you actually work with that financial advisor the first time you meet them? Probably not $2 million. So what you always want to do is you want to build that relationship. That's very important to do. Just to build that trust factor. And I'm from Rhode Island, so it's always like, I know this guy that does this, all right? And so I know a guy that's a good cook, or it's a great financial advisor. You always want to work with people that you know. It's very important to do. The second bullet's very important. If no one knows who you are, they can't help you. So this is my little dib on LinkedIn and social media in general. I see a lot of LinkedIn profiles that are very blank. They just say, I do this job and that's it. They don't really explain what they do. It's always important to have a great description in social media of what you do. Because if somebody just discovers you or they met you at an event, they'll see, oh wow, he does social media, or he owns a restaurant, or they're a medium, and they would definitely understand, they would want to get to know you a little further. And then learn from people. I learn from everybody. There's folks in the room like Lisa, Stan, Mike. I've learned so much just by mingling with some great people, so I always learn that. So what did I learn? I practiced and tested lots of techniques. This is my favorite one right here. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
I do social media and websites, and I make sure businesses make lots of money and reduce their expenses and all that. Lisa, what do you do?
Well, Jeff, it's nice to meet you, and that's an awful lot to take in 2 seconds.
I know that was a very quick introduction, but no one really cares what you do, right? They don't. They want to know you. They want to know, do you like the Yankees, Red Sox, Patriots? They want to know you as a person. Do you play guitar? Whatever you do, they want to know a little bit about you. My always approach, believe me, I used to do that all the time, and I stopped. If anyone's met me networking, I always ask, like, how can I help you? What do you do? Why did you choose this career? It's like an interview. It's almost like dating, right? You meet somebody dating. You want to learn a little bit more about them. I developed a big passion meeting people. I love meeting people. I go to 3 events a week on average. And my goal is just to have a lot of friends. That's what it comes down to. It's making friends. I love going out to dinner and running into somebody I know. My wife calls me the mayor. especially in Boston. It's weird. Boston's a fairly large city. I always run to someone I know. I live in Metro West. I never see anybody I know. It seems like in Boston, I always run to someone. So what's my first tip? Be helpful. Probably, every tip is great here, but being helpful is so important. Everybody needs help. That's why they're at a networking event. They need something. Always ask questions about what do you need? How can I help you? What are you looking for? Promote your network. I always like to promote my network. Everyone uses LinkedIn. You have the first level, second level connections. Second level connections are very important in LinkedIn because you could have 500 LinkedIn connections, but you may have 25,000 second level connections. That's an amazing network, and chances are somebody in that second level network can help you, and that person's your connector. Build a reputation. Everyone wants to know you as someone that helps people. They don't want to, they see you in an event and they're like running away from you. Like, oh, stay away from that guy. He's a lot of trouble. And then, believe me, I've seen some people that are like that. It's funny when they walk in the room, everybody shifts over to the other side of the bar. But you want to be that person that everybody shifts over to you. Because you don't want to be a roamer in a networking event. You want to be walking around and hoping to meet somebody. You want to be stand here and they come to you. So how do you think about how would you build that up for yourself to become, have that reputation. Last little tip here is, I don't know if anyone blogs or does email marketing. That's another way for folks to understand what you do. Right? Especially if you're in a career that's very common. Not to pick on a financial advisor, but you have to like pick, sorry. You have to, what's, you're awesome. So blog about something that sets you apart from everyone else. Be visible. No one knows what you're doing. It's like it never happened. So that goes into blogging again, being on social media a lot, going to events. You could stay home tonight, or you can go to an event. You stay home, you're not making any connections. Not at all. You go to an event, you're going to make, like here, there's probably about 60 or 70 people here tonight. That could become your next connection. Meet lots of people. I mean, this is a good sized event. I wanted to go over some really quick groups in the area. Greater Boston Referral Network's awesome. Network After Work, Boston Networking Club, Mass Professional Networking. We have a lot of good groups in Boston. A lot of chances to meet a lot of good people. Stan, your event up in Woburn once a month. See Stan about that. But there's so many events, and we're very lucky to live in this city. Because I've traveled a little bit, when I was a little younger, and there's maybe New York, Washington, D.C., but Boston's got a lot of good groups, good variety of groups. Everyone, who here signed this group for Meetup? So Meetups, as everyone knows, it's a great platform, more focused on interest levels. If you're into health and fitness, but there's so many opportunities there. There's a good list of events. One other one, sporting events. You'll be amazed. I was at my niece's soccer match this weekend, and I met 3 people. My brother's like, geez, do you ever stop? But that's a great place to meet people. You always meet people. Be intentional. Go where the people are. Think about your strategy. Sunday night's a very important night for your business. So you're thinking about your week. Where do you want to go this week? Go where they are. If you're a real estate broker, go to a home show. Go to places where you know people are going to be, and that's going to help build your network. Think long term. You're not going to a networking event tonight to make that big deal. If you do that, you're never going to get that big deal. I don't know. I think I know probably about half the people here. I want to meet everyone tonight just to say hi. I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff DeSocio. I'm doing the presentation tonight if you don't know. But you just want to make sure you just build that rapport with people. I always have there's one thing I mentioned, 7 touches. It takes 7 times to meet somebody or run into them before it could become, I wouldn't say a transaction, but could be doing, a case of doing business together. So I always think from that perspective, you'll see that face. I've seen Lisa a few times already, right? And now we're at a point we understand what we do. Now, I'm sorry if I pick on somebody in the crowd, but we're friends, right?
Wouldn't have sat in front if we didn't want to get
Yeah, exactly. Have to sit in front. So now we understand what we do, and now this is where the second level connection in LinkedIn really helps. Relationships take time to build. If you're an authoritative, whether it's financial, you're a career coach, I always think of careers like that, professions like that. It takes time to build that relationship. Focus on people, not on job titles. That's another big one. But here's another one. Who hates getting rejected? I get rejected all the time. It's horrible. But you have to get rejected. You really do. You have to understand how to recover from getting rejected, because you don't know if you don't try. It's like the old days before. I've been with the same girl for 20 years, but I remember when I was single and you see somebody there and you go up to them, you don't know if they're going to say yes or no. All right? It's the same thing in the business world. You don't know unless you try. You got to get rejected. Because you get stronger of it and you learn from it.
It's not personal.
It's not personal. Very good point. Now, when I was talking to Lisa a little earlier, what did I not do? I didn't listen to her, anything she was saying. You notice how when she started talking, I walked away from her. It's very important to listen. If I'm talking to someone at an event, I always look for that pause. Listen to what they have to say. Make sure they pause for like 5 seconds or so. Then I may ask a question. That's what I normally would do. Is you want to give them time to talk, especially if it's somebody you first met. I usually have like an 80-20% rule. 80% I'll listen. I think the conversation should be 80% listen to what they have to say, and 20%, or maybe say, let's follow up. This is how I can help you. And then over time, it evens out when you get to know the person. Does that make sense to everyone? Show interest. Don't roll your eyes. You put the phone in your pocket. Don't look at your phone. That's the worst thing to do. Don't look around the room. Who am I going to meet next? Well, I'm going to meet you next. I'm talking to you. You don't want to do that, because then that shows no interest. Ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Right? Ask for introductions. That's what LinkedIn is for. That's what even Twitter or Facebook is for. I always make a point when I'm at an event, if I meet this gentleman here, Chris, I meet this gentleman here. So what do you do? IT consulting.
I work product accelerator.
You may need some IT work at some point.
With your business, if it grows.
I know somebody that does some great consulting. I would actually go to the event. I would say, meet each other. Be the connector. That's my tip a few slides back, to be that connector. Ask for advice. Don't be afraid to ask people. One thing about networking events I've always noticed, everybody's positive. Have you met a negative networker? Anyone? No, because everybody smiles. I love it. I've been in corporate America for a while, and everybody frowns at corporate America, but it seems like networking events, everybody's happy. So they want to help you. That's what we're here for. And this is the last tip, follow-up. Figured I was going to save the best for last. How many business cards do you think you're going to get tonight, on average? Probably 20. Follow up with at least 5 of those 20. Now, what does the follow-up mean? It means, I have a great slide right after this if you want to go to it. It's a stepping stone. You go to a networking event, and that's tonight. You meet about 25% of the attendees, maybe upwards to 50. You plan to follow up with about 5. Schedule a meeting with them. Offer to buy them a coffee. Coffee is great. Maybe meeting at WeWork itself. It's always good. It's good to. And when you have that meeting with that person, do some research on social media before you meet them with them. So pick like something they do, whether it's they like soccer or they play music, and start the meeting off with something personal, and then move into how you can help each other. And then that builds a lasting relationship. Then there's follow-ups from there on in. So that's the tip. That's about it. I know I wanted to make this quick. Everyone connect to Mass Professional Networking on LinkedIn and Facebook. Facebook is where we actually post all our events that are coming up. We have an event on a boat, on a yacht on the 25th of this month. Hopefully the weather will be good. But I just want to, definitely join me. Also Michael's group and other groups do post their events on our page. So it's a great centralized place. So does anyone have any questions? Yes.
On LinkedIn, you talked about the second tier people.
Yes.
How do you engage those or do you engage them?
You actually go through your first level connection. Let's say, Jeff, you send me an email or LinkedIn. Jeff, would you like to introduce me to Lisa? I think there's some, we have some common interests and I'd like to have a coffee meeting with her. But you would use that first level connection to connect to that second level connection. It's a warm network. Or Lisa would do, Lisa will do the introduction for you.
Yeah.
You might want to have Lisa do the introduction for you, because that way it's a warm market.
Yeah.
Eliminates that cold call.
Yeah.
And you know who you're looking for. So if you're looking for like a mortgage broker, you might say, oh, hey, Lisa, I see you have a couple of mortgage brokers as friends. I'm looking for this. Would you be able to introduce me to those people? Right.
Okay. So any other questions? Sir?
So you say you meet 25% of the people that are, that's a lot of people. Like how do you do that without constantly hopping from group to group?
What I usually stay at an event. I mean, that's another reason. It depends on how long you stay at an event. I go from, that's it. How do you meet 25% of the people at an event? Just go to the event the whole 3 hours. It really depends on how long you're at the event too. Over time, if you're at the event for the 2.5, 3 hours, chances are you're gonna meet most of the people there. I personally like smaller events because it seems like they're a little more personable. And then there's a better chance you're gonna meet, let's say there's 20 people there, you meet 5 of them. So.
Well, that's a really good point because I want to just point out that I think everyone knows that they're actually here for a networking event, and you kind of want to keep in mind or be respectful of your time with one person.
Exactly.
You might have a great conversation with someone, but just keep in mind that they came here to network too. So you kind of want to don't go over that 5-minute mark.
5 minutes,
5
perfect.
minutes like a recommendation in terms of, how long should I spend networking with a person. Like I had a great conversation with Ian, and basically I could stand up here and tell you what he does and who he's worked with and what he can do for a lot of people in this room. It took, 5 minutes, right? Exactly. So that's like the point, and I didn't really get right in his face. He told me what he does, and I told him a crazy story.
There you go.
And I had him laughing in 2 minutes. So we just want to keep that in mind, without being too regimental, but just, the more you do it, the better the flow, the easier it becomes. But it's just like keep in mind that respect of the other person's time.
Yeah. That's a great point because networking events is meant for business too. Social, I don't like to use the word social event sometimes because social means I used to stay with my friends for the whole time I'm there, and I don't move around. Or at least.
There's beer, you have wine for the ladies as well. Hint, hint.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to Dan about that.
Free beer. I'll tell you that because I know you.
Good points, though, Lisa. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Any other questions? I'd like everyone to get back to networking. So your homework tonight is to meet 5 people you've never met before, and then have 2 follow-ups of those folks. How's that?
Yeah. Great tips, Jeff. Thank you very
But
much.
I'd like to thank WeWork, especially Dan. This is a great facility. They have 2 facilities, one here in Fort Point and also South Station. And I really appreciate them giving us the space here. So have some pizza and beer, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good presentation.